What's going on, everybody? We are back again for episode 16 of the Dragon Ball Legends podcast. As always, do an audio check for me in the chat. Let us know if you can hear me, everybody else. Make sure my OBS is set right. And with that, Pomzor, you take the floor.
Hey, what's up? Welcome back, everybody, to the Dragon Ball Legends podcast, episode 16, Gogeta Who. Today, before we start with the guest, I actually want to announce two things. I saw that some people in the chat already asked about, hey, where's that Vegeta Family Zenkai video? It's coming out about half an hour after the podcast, so 2 hours from now. And we have another form for a female warrior Zenkai out there. So check out our Twitter whenever you have the time because, hey, Valentine's Day is coming soon. And Ryuden also said it. We might just get the obligatory 2 units every year, but maybe they do something different in Zenkai. So give us your submissions and we'll make another video out of that. With that said, today I'm joined by Bradical.
What up?
Goresh.
What's going on, guys?
You already heard Nastarachi.
Yep, I'm muted so you can't hear me vaping.
We're joined by Prof.
Hello.
Ryuden.
What's up, everyone?
And ZVG.
Yo, what up? What up, guys?
Yo, so today's topics are obviously Zenkai God Vegeta. We'll quickly talk about the booster missions, Kakarot Goku coming back, Zenkai dailies, and, we're going to ramble and speculate a little bit about potential Zenkai units in the future. And with that said, we're going to start it off with the one thing that actually happened in the game this week, which was Zenkai God Vegeta. And as a Vegeta family main, ZVG, go and ramble away.
Wait, before we get into that, you don't want to talk about all the new events we got?
All the one event?
Yeah.
That's not new.
I lost count personally, but yeah, we can chit chat about it real quick.
All right, I think we're done with that. Let's move on to the Zenkai.
Good talk.
All right, so Zenkai God Vegeta. Vegeta family mains can finally rejoice, bro. Finally, Toshi has given us a Zenkai that's actually good. So, God Vegeta is one of the better Zenkais that they have released in the game. Like he's not broken, but he's literally just good. I think in terms of compared to other Zenkais, I would say that he's above Green Broly and like below Super Saiyan Blue Goku. That where he is literally perfect for a Zenkai unit for 7,000 Chrono Crystals. Like he's phenomenal. Now onto his teams now. So God Key, his best team is with Vados and Blue Super Saiyan Blue Goku. The team just works so incredibly well. You have God Vegeta protecting Vados. You have Blue Super Saiyan Blue Goku protecting God Vegeta. And the heals with Vados is very, very good for this unit. Like, because his unique ability where you have to have more health than your opponent, Vados helps incredibly well with that because she heals every time she subs out. And her main ability heals as well. And God Vegeta also heals 2 times when he changes cover, I think. So the team is just phenomenal. And Gogeta Blue fans, y'all can't catch a break, man. This man has completely replaced him on Gaki. He was not meant to be a Zenkai buffer for him. He just eclipsed him in every single way possible. He's just a better unit overall, and that's just how it is. Now for Vegeta family, Ray Trunks, his time was coming, okay? He was being power equipped like he couldn't tank anymore. Even Super Saiyan 3 Goku could deal real damage to him. So to see him finally get replaced, it's been coming. And even though he doesn't buff the team, he works incredibly well on the team with Maj Vegeta and Purple Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Like the synergy is just insane. 2 strike units, a support unit, damage across the board. And Vegeta family finally has someone who can tank reliably in this meta, which he never had other than Ray Trunks. So to see him completely replace Ray Trunks and fill his role better, just phenomenal. But Vegeta family has gotten way better with these past few updates. Now for his equips, we all know that the new equip that they released is specifically for him. It gives him health restoration, and strike damage, which he needs and whatnot. You can put like special move damage because when he covers, bro, that special move will deal a lot of damage. Like that special move is insane, but after a cover, because when you cover changing, you're gonna proc the ability where he has to get hit to get his card draw speed up, the damage and whatnot. It's gonna activate, and with that, bro, it just nukes the hell out of any unit except like red units like FSK, obviously. But that would do a lot of damage. And he's just a phenomenal unit all around. And that's pretty much all I gotta say, bro. Like, he's just phenomenal.
I feel like he covered everything. There's nothing really. You could tell he's a Vegeta family fanatic because he covered everything. There's nothing really for us to add beyond that.
Like,
if you ask
Vegeta
me.
family was like, it was in a bad place, honestly. Like, Red Trunks couldn't tank. Maj Vegeta was getting worse. The only saving grace was like Purple Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. But now with God Vegeta paired with him, the team is so fun again, and it's actually viable in PvP now because now they can actually tank from some units in the game. So
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
also the yellow for against blue purple, phenomenal. Like,
I think
Going back to your
That-
little God Key comment too, like I guess just because when he comes in with a cover rescue, the 3 timer counts. I mean, Vados with the green card at least can cancel that out. So that's the one little thing I wanted to add. Otherwise, you pretty much covered everything for the guy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was saying
Yeah,
Vegeta family was really only desperately missing a cover change unit like this that was able to stop the flow of damage, and now thankfully they have one that works against strike or blast. So he definitely filled a much needed role there.
I think Vegeta family is like 1 unit away from being like top tier.
yeah,
Oh, I agree
One,
100%.
one Zenkai away, bro. One
Yeah,
Zenkai
I was gonna
away.
say one more Zenkai and they're in there.
Who do you think's
What?
optimal
Super
right now on
Vegeta.
Vegeta family? I don't know if you covered his DVG.
Who is up to like to get a Zenkai, or like who should you run?
No, yeah, who's optimal if you don't have? We don't have the other Zenkai yet. So like right now, say you have Vegeta family pretty stacked. I
Yeah.
put LF Vegeta, the purple Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta, and then this guy, or you could put Majin Vegeta instead of the LF, depending on
Okay,
the start.
so
I would put
LF
mine-
Vegeta has LF Vegeta is weird to me because I like him as a unit, but like it's obvious that he just powerful at this point, right? So I
yeah.
think that Chunks is a more better picture with the family for sure. Because Chunks does everything he does, but just he does more damage. Both of them can't really tank as well. The Chunks has that mini locking every time it comes in, and with the support of the Super Saiyan Vegeta, he's not gonna be damage straight across the board. Because honestly, it's a fun way to play with Vegeta family because you know going into the fight you're gonna do damage. You know for a fact that you're gonna do damage. So
Yeah, I only say LF Vegeta because I have him at 9 stars. If you had him at like 4 stars, no, he's definitely not optimal 100%. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and I would say for the people that what?
Wait, Nas, can you mute the game?
The game audio is like ear splittingly loud.
Oh, I didn't even know it had audio.
Yeah, now ignore it.
No, I was under the impression that the video sent would not have audio. All
it has
so-
audio?
Yeah, it has audio.
Oh my bad.
No, it's all good. Just you're gonna have to repeat the last like 10 minutes of the podcast.
Oh, that's no big deal. All right,
No, but
ZVG, go
honestly-
up again, bro.
Honestly, I was surprised that he still had that 3 timer count penalty when he covered cover rescues because most other units, even like non-Zenkai units, don't have that. So I was a little, I don't know, just like disappointed maybe, or I wonder would
They
that
actually
have
reduced
made
it.
him too broken?
No, they actually reduced it. It was at 5 at first,
Oh.
and they reduced it to 3.
Okay. I
So
didn't know that.
I'd say it's really not that big of a deal, to be honest. Even though sometimes it can really bite you in the dust. Like sometimes like when you want to bring him in to tank ultimate or something, and you just can't because like he has a +3 on his sub count. So it's like, well, someone's dying here. But that's pretty much it.
By the way, that audio was a test to see if you guys were paying attention.
You won. You passed.
You passed.
But I think that the one situation where it can be a real problem is you have like a 2 versus 2 or 2 versus 3 situation, and then you're swapping him out, and you can't swap back in for another 13 counts when your opponent has 10 counts, unless you have Vados, which, as Ryuden said, alleviates this a little bit. But other than that, I really like his strike damage, man. This is so much fun. I played him with Vados and either Vegito
Oh.
Blue or Super Saiyan Blue, and damn.
Also, make sure that you guys protect this man from any unit that can cancel boss. Because his main ability, that 40% strike damage, it's not uncancelable. It's permanent, but it can be cancelled. And if that gets cancelled, bro, that's one of your main sources of damage. You do not want that to get cancelled. So protect this man at all costs from like Super Vegito Blue's green card and whatnot. Like UI Goku's ultimate, like just protect this man from any buff removal.
Oh, from his main, actually, right? He can't be on the field when
Yeah.
he pops it.
Yeah, it's 5 time accounts. As the game starts, just pop it immediately because that it's permanent. So you're gonna always have it unless they remove it with with Vegeta Blue's green card or whatever.
Yeah, it is pretty unfortunate too for Vegeta Blue. It makes it feel like Vegeta Blue, or not Vegeta Blue, Gogeta Blue is an extremely premium character now because for him to compete, like you'll have to have him at relatively high stars. Like the only thing that Gogeta has is like certain buffs for certain teams, and that's it.
I mean, unless you're Goresh, I don't think he competes.
Yeah, yeah.
Personally,
unless he's 14 stars, he's not gonna compete with
maybe
Zenkai.
12.
like
Maybe 12 does it, but
I feel
It's
like
just not
his
happening.
value. I feel like Gogeta Blue's value is going to grow as we get more and more cover rescue units. I think that's where his appeal is going to come.
Yeah.
It sucks that he doesn't have card draw speed, but I can already feel it now when I face like God Key or Future, where I have to constantly predict dropping between Vegeta Blue, a UI Goku, or rival universe with like a Jiren or UI Goku and stuff like that. I feel like that's where his value is going to come from. That safe peace of mind, easy, not having to worry kind of thing. So I think that's where his value is going to come from. Eventually, people are going to get sick of having to predict when to drop combo, and good players being able to play around that. That's where his value is going to come from.
I
agree.
I especially would second that in terms of like playstyle differences. Like there's still a reason to use the Gogeta. He's just going to fit a different playstyle than this Vegeta. Like
Yeah, the playstyle's being worse.
well, it's I mean, kind of like it sucks because like we tell you guys over and over again to summon on Zenkais because like we hate it just as much as y'all do. Like we hate only summoning on Zenkais, but they're almost always the better option. Like Gogeta Blue is sick, but I mean, like we pointed out, 10 stars and up. if you got a 10-star Gogeta Blue, yeah, you're competing for sure, but it sucks. I don't like it. I'm never really gonna like it, but it's how it is. It's just don't go too ham on LFs, and they're more fun to look at.
Yeah,
That's about
I
it.
think the bigger issue is that the timing of the Zenkai is
Well, of course,
absolutely hilarious.
I don't know
Like,
why
it
they
is-
did this one.
It is. I don't know what. Okay, so if they were gonna design him to be a Zenkai buffer, then he should have been worse. But he's not. So it's like It's like, well,
It's extremely
replace,
counterintuitive.
goodbye.
Like-
Ask Piccolo how about this.
Yeah.
He knows how this feels.
Yeah, I
Or
brought
Red,
this
Red
up.
Cell.
It's like they immediately introduce a hype character, and while his banner is still active, they essentially replace him, which to me, that seems like a really bad business strategy because any potential sales you could have still gotten on that Gogeta banner are now just going to go to the.
But they
God
got all their
Vegeta.
big ones like the first 2 weeks, right? Like they got all their big
Yeah.
numbers then. And people who still really are Gogeta Blue diehards are still going to summon for Gogeta Blue.
Yeah,
It's only
but
7,000 for Vegeta, right? Say you're going to go 30,000 in. Okay, now you go 23,000 in.
it still seems
People are
like
still going to go in.
it would conflict with their sales plan for unlock.
It's weird. Yeah, don't get me wrong.
I think the only real reason why Gogeta is competing with the Zenkai is if you're able to land his green card consistently, because then he becomes better. But other than that, it's just this guy's better.
It's a straight up execution if you land that green card.
Yeah.
That green card is it's so good but so bad at the same time. Like if you miss that, okay, so he has a 30% damage reduction, which is fine, but like if you miss that, bro, he's not gonna he's no tank, so he's not gonna be able to tank any hits from like any of the top meta units. If you miss that green card,
You don't use it preemptively. You use it as a reaction to the strike. You can catch tackles with it. You can even swap in and just immediately pop that green card and end your opponent.
The swapping.
I was just gonna say the biggest difference between this green card and the red Gogetas is the red Gogetas locks your blast cards.
Yeah. So
And it locks it
I'd
even
say
when
go-
it's just used, not even when it's landed.
Yeah.
Which is super
Yeah, it's like
annoying.
it's really gnarly. Yeah. You don't think about how hard that is to come back from that, but if you have 2 blasts and a green card,
yeah,
if you got 1 strike, that red Gogeta can shut you down for a second.
yeah. What Prof said about coming in and just using the green card with Gogeta, I think that's a very good strategy to use the Gogeta's green card. So you have a unit out and you're at mid range and you see the tackle coming, just have the Gogeta, pop the green card, and then you can just combo away. That's a very good strategy to use with the Gogeta. I don't know why people have not been using it. Like it's effective if you can, but you have to be precise with it. Like you have to be precise. If
Well,
you're gonna
the
do it
key
like that.
cover change mechanics, the Gogetas. Yeah, I mean, I've dogged on the red Gogeta's green card, but the yellow one straight up locks you in the field. It rewards you for
Yeah,
landing.
that one's crazy.
Yeah.
we can talk all day about how overpowered lock mechanics are, but I think the main thing people need to get out of their system is when they're using the cover chains that are specific, blast or strike cover change. And I do this too, guys. But you're pressing it before your opponent has locked in the card, and that's allowing them to combo drop you or whatever. And that you can remedy it. But for like the Gogeta, blue, if you master what GVG was talking about and just pop in that green card, I think that's the one scenario I like him more than God Vegeta. But I was talking on stream today. The one thing I do like more than God Vegeta, and frankly, if I was going to take one to a tournament, I would take God Vegeta. It's because his cover change is universal. You can do it for strike. Your opponent has to play with drop combos, or you just straight up end their combo. And I think that cannot be understated. You can talk about his damage later. That one little aspect of the fight is going to define the rest of it.
Yeah, I think the only way that you can play around this with blast cards is long range. That works.
Yeah, the cover is like it's really good against blast and strike cards. Use them often, so to be able to just cancel both of them infinitely, like it's not like you're a Goku where it's 2 times. You can do it any amount of times, bro. Like, and they're just gonna stop the combo, so you can stop an ultimate coming or whatever. It's so useful. Amazing cover change.
Yeah, it's pretty unique too. It's like it doesn't operate like a lot of the other cover changes in the game, where he still sacrifices some of his life, but it just works on anything that's up in your face, basically. So
keep in mind, he gets cover cut. I think it's like 60% when he's using that in total.
No. He heal as well at the end of the attack.
Yeah, he heals too.
Oh, that heal is like for the health ratio thing. That little detail with the heal after your cover changes 2 times is it. They designed it that way specifically because when you come in, you're gonna get hit, so you're activating the unique ability where it gets card draw, speed up the damage up, and you're healing. So your health is gonna be at full the first time you do it. And if you have like a special move on him, it's just gonna deal. The special move is just busted. I'm telling you, after a cover change, it is busted.
Why did they design him better than Gogeta? Like, I understand he's better, but why did they design him better than Gogeta?
Reading his skill for the first time, I was like, what is this unit? What's he supposed to do? And then in practice, it's like, those cover change are gonna heal up, and it just works perfectly in game. So
what does he do? He just kills you.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. If they wanted him to be a Zenkai buffer, like just make him like the purple Super Saiyan. I mean the purple Saiyan Saga Vegeta. Like if they want, but they didn't, so I have no clue.
I mean, you can at least Zenkai buff the Gogeta with him, right?
Yeah,
but like at that point, it's like, do you really want to like? Because he's gonna get his own Zenkai buff. So are you really gonna run Gogeta over him? Like, I don't think anybody's gonna do that.
This might sound blasphemous, but I kind of like Champa better than Gogeta as well.
That's really not a hot take.
Different monster. I don't. It depends on how you're building.
Really not a hot take.
If you've already got the bulk with like Goku Blue or Beerus or some nonsense, right? Yeah. You can invest in Champa's full out burst, and that man will 100 to 0.
Champa's burst is because he debuffs you, and then his main ability type nullification, the green card into the special move. Like, he has so many tools to like kill you instantly. So Champa is like a real thing in PvP, and the argument over Champa over Gogeta Blue is not a hot take at all. Like, you can argue for both units, and that's pretty sad, to be honest, for Gogeta's sake. For Gogeta's sake, that's pretty sad.
I've actually been really happy the LF units. We don't have another Vegeta Blue situation where they're just better. Like, if you want to run Gogeta Blue, he's perfectly viable. He'll take you to the top ranks. Go have fun. But you don't. It's not just Gogeta Blue's a winner. I thought for sure when this unit dropped, he would be another Vegeta Blue situation. But no, we got a fun balanced game, dare I say.
Well, they can make units, but they know how to make units not be like Vegeta Blue. Like, we have units that like Goku Black, Topo, Red Cell, Purple Super Saiyan Vegeta. All those units are like good, but they're not broken. And Gogeta's like, he should be like on their level, but he's not. Like, if he was on their level, then it would be like, okay, that's understandable. But like, to even argue Champa or Gogeta Blue for God Key, it's like, for a character, like for Gogeta Blue, a character fits standard, it's like they really did Gogeta Blue dirty, in my opinion.
I honestly think that Broly gets all those titles that you're about to say, like Gogeta Blue should have had. Like, under the right circumstances, Broly can demolish. Even isn't the right word. He can completely just squash like a bug entire teams. Zenkai units are not. Like, Broly's the one that got the MVP treatment on this banner.
If you come off Bardock into Broly and you have a blue card and you land Saint, you probably won the combo, like the whole fight on the first combo.
Yeah,
Bro,
I think
your Broly is dude. If you're in that, if like any red star Broly with Bardock is insanity. Like, it is stupid how he can just change the fight just like that, and
it feels like Broly and Gogeta were designed in two different eras.
Yeah,
like Gogeta feels like a year ago unit, and then Broly feels like he's a unit that comes out now.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's almost like they already had Gogeta Blue ready to go when the DBS movie dropped almost, and then they're like, oh crap, let's add Broly also, and they just did him recently.
The thing I want to pivot back to is what Ryuden was saying. When I'm running Gogeta Blue, and frankly mine's 2-star and he's done work for me, it feels like the start of the fight I'm ramping him, but I can confidently do it. I don't care about Jiren. I don't care about other Gogeta Blues. I don't care about anything. I'm just hitting them, right? Because he doesn't care about the cover. You ramp him up, and then by the late game, he seems to be just a nuke. But I don't know. I like that I don't have to worry about the cover change. And I think if more units like this Vegeta we're talking about start being on everybody's team, I think his values will start to go up again.
I think all they should have done is give him card draw speed as part of his main from like Jiren's. Like, if they were worried that he'd be too broken, then just give him card draw speed in his main.
Dude, just give him card draw speed on switching. Like
even with card draw speed, he wouldn't be broken at all. He would not be broken. Like, he'd be like with Topo and stuff, but he would not be like Vegeta Blue broken. Like, that's not gonna happen anymore for LF.
Yeah.
That it's just not gonna happen.
No.
Isn't it? No LF is gonna be broken.
Isn't it funny how they decided, okay, we're gonna care about balance on the most requested, hypest character the entire community has ever wanted. Oh, let's not make him too extreme. And now everyone's very mad.
When it comes to LFs,
I was gonna say all he needs is the Demon King Piccolo card draw speed +1 level for 15 counts when switching. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd be really good.
Could his platinum
redesign how they make LFs?
Okay,
probably.
This is what I think they should do with the platinum equip. They should have on like one of the slots card draw speed, but then the question is, how do you roll that to a different value? You have card draw speed, and then you have another value on that same slot that's like health restoration or something, and then you roll that.
Just see and cry on the health restoration.
Or you have the card draw speed, but you roll on the time. Yeah, like it can be between 5 to 10 seconds.
That's true. Yeah, you can do that as well.
You roll on you roll in for 10 seconds on the slot, right?
I think, dude, that's the best way to fix this.
Honestly, like, when they're designing LFs, like, they have to keep in mind that 1, they're hard to pull, and 2, Zenkais exist. So they gotta start making LFs in some way where it's like you feel good summoning them. I feel like, okay, these can compete with Zenkais. I don't know, stat increase or unique or something. Like, LFs need to be reworked out there because they're way harder to pull. Zenkais are cheaper. So what really is the point? Unless you love the character.
I see in chat someone saying we shouldn't have hated on VB so much on release. Now Gogeta Blue got nerfed. There's a happy medium. Like you have one end of the spectrum with VB, and then you have, like, I wouldn't say the opposite end of the spectrum with Gogeta, but like another like vastly one-sided unit that I think could have been way better. Like, literally just give him card draw speed and he's way better.
Yeah.
He doesn't need a massive buff to be good. Like, he's already pretty good. He just needs like a little bit of help to be competitive, like with the top Zenkai, and that's it. I don't need to make him as good as VB was when he came out. We're not saying that at all. We don't want that. Nobody does.
Why are people saying that? Like, LFs are not going to be on VB's level anymore. As long as these Zenkais exist, it is never going to happen. Like, it is not going to happen. So stop using that comparison. We don't want him to be broken. We want him to be better. It's that analogy it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's not going to happen. Stop saying that analogy. It's not going to happen.
I think a lot of it now is also, as they're designing the Legends Limited units, they are somewhat designing them under the impression that they too will receive a Zenkai one day. So I don't know if they're watering them down a little bit on purpose because, like, 6 months from now, 8 months from now, this unit's going to get a Zenkai too, and then it'll be the real unit. Like, so let's design
honestly,
them with like half a kit until
I
then.
wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I would not be surprised if that's the case at all.
Yeah, because like we know, eventually these two characters are going to Zenkai, and then we'll have their actual full kit, right, as intended. But until then, we have like half a unit. Broly just compensates for it because he can kill anything and everyone, and the people he can't kill, he just uses his ult and forcibly swaps them out and gets stronger so that when they come back in, he can then kill them.
You know what's funny about this is this just continues the meme about how they hate Gogeta.
Oh, yeah.
It's
It's weird, man.
It's not a meme anymore. It's
Thank
facts.
God the red
It's facts.
Gogeta exists, because if the red Gogeta
Yeah.
didn't exist, I would agree with that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I agree. They
well-
definitely dislike him more than Vegito. That's for sure.
Like,
There's something
It's a
about it.
Zenkai.
Vegito just sells better. That's just how it is. Like, and that's all I can attribute it to.
Even so, like they did him so dirty, dude. Like
I don't know, man. They
should've
got
came
top
out
grossing.
long
I don't
ago.
know.
Yeah, well, obviously, like it's Gogeta Blue. Like no one cares how it's Gogeta Blue, right? But I'm saying, like for a unit that they should have released long ago, we've been waiting on him, all the memes and everything for his release, and for him to feel like a disappointment is just it's not a good feeling at all.
no,
This should
it's
have been
not.
the second Gogeta Blue in the game, by the way.
It's
Like,
literally using back to Broly again. Broly can I've gotten my Broly to card draw speed level 5 before, just with how much the enemy panics, swaps their units out like all 3 times. Then I toss one out with the ult. Like poor Gogeta can't even get card draw speed level 1. Meanwhile, Broly's over here getting card
I
draw
mean,
speed.
bro,
level
even
4 or
Wrathful
5.
Broly gets it on swapping, bro. Like,
Okay. So the way they designed Gogeta and Broly, they designed Broly to have the card draw speed but no key, and they designed Gogeta to have all the key in the world but no card draw speed. But Gogeta's problem is way worse because Broly has Bardock and he has the Force Switch thing, so he has more tools to help him. Gogeta, he has all the key in the world, but the cards are not there, and he needs the cards to ramp up. So they just designed him weird, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Broly at least has the green card, right? And
Yeah, he has. a
and the
good
question
card.
is, for me, if Nas, what you said earlier, like they designed kind of half a unit and they already have the Zenkai kind of planned out. Who got him to 7 stars in a reasonable amount of crystals? On this one
Also,
banner,
also
right?
that 0.5% rate, dude. The step up is it's not that much of a higher chance to get the unit. It's really not. So
Nope.
even with the 0.5% rate, it's still not enough for them to say, well, half a kit. Most people will have it to 7 stars or whatever. It's
No, but they'll do like one of those mini step ups where the character's like guaranteed to like be featured on there, like how they did for all the other LFs. I don't know. Like they'll do something
Also-
to try and make their money 5 different times.
to Nasi's point about making them worse due to Zenkais. What happens when Champa gets his Zenkai? What's gonna happen when Champa gets his Zenkai? Is he still gonna be better than Gogeta Blue Zenkai? Or it's like,
it's not even
does
that.
it
It's
really
like
matter?
you could even just talk about like Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku. getting one.
Also, that like they're
Dude, like these shit units are gonna get Zenkai. I'm not saying he's shit, but I'm saying like any shit unit could get a Zenkai and then instantly be like the best unit.
yeah. So it's like you're literally playing with fire at that point. You're like, will he really be top tier when he gets his Zenkai, or will like Champa or Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken be better than him still?
Like, did anybody think DKP was gonna be that good when he got a Zenkai? Like, he
Nope.
just went from, like, shit
I didn't
to,
even
like,
think
hero.
18 would be that good. Like I did not think 18's kit was like one line.
Yeah, or 18.
One,
Yeah.
I did not expect it to be that good, but she is. So they can do anything with the units, bro. So worrying about Gogeta Blue Zenkai doesn't mean anything. Like they could make him like the Saiyan Saga Vegeta, for all we know. Who knows?
And that's the thing.
It
It
can
can be
happen.
so hit or miss with the Zenkais as well, right? They can make it like a super mediocre Zenkai, or they can make him busted as hell.
Dragon Ball
Well, I
Zenkai
think it comes down to
Legends.
the same thing. Think about how we read it. Like we read, I remember even ZVG said it, reading the God Vegeta Zenkai, where it was like okay, I mean, he seems pretty good, you know. And then you use it, and you're like, okay,
Yeah,
he's like really,
yeah.
he's like really
I
good.
was not.
Like,
I was actually.
I'm imagining they go through the
pissed when I
same
already
thing.
see-
They read it and they're like, this looks good. His green card makes him OP. And it's like, yeah, because you got to land it. Like, and yeah, I mean, you could make the argument, well, if you're a really skilled player and you went after Gogeta Blue, you made the argument he's better at that point, but your average player base is not really skilled. Like, that's the issue. So I imagine they go through the same thing we go through where they look at it and like, that looks really nice. I like that.
What I
Push
want
it.
to know is
And they
how
push
do
it and they're like, oh, God, he sucks.
how do they test these units, bro? Like, what's the process in testing these
It's
units?
Tochi versus you. That's how they test
I
it.
would if that's how it really is, then I'm not surprised at some of their kit decisions. Like, I'm not surprised at all. No,
It's
no
like, oh, he's
disrespect
really
to
good,
Toshi or
second
you,
Rising
but
Rush.
like,
But won't they just
Like-
DC that if they do that?
when the game crashed.
They haven't worked all the kinks out yet.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, yeah. So we got a bunch of missions, right, with the on Wednesday. So we didn't just get the Vegeta Zenkai booster missions, but for some reason we also got the color booster missions back. Any of you get those? Because for me, I'm like, okay, I'm good on energy, and I
Oh,
don't really
yeah.
need the souls.
I'm
You got
going
them
for
all?
them. I'm gonna get some crystals here in a minute, and I'm definitely picking them up. Like,
All 5?
I don't know about all 5 because I think I can only get about 1,000 crystals to get at the moment. So that's just me being a bum. But I'd say
fast.
I'm sure somebody could whip out a calculator and prove me wrong, maybe. But you're only spending a few hundred crystals on the actual resource itself if you go for item removers, anyways. So that's one of the main draws for me is a bunch of erasers, and then it's going to ultimately save skip tickets and energy. And for the first time in my Legends career, I'm actually out of that stuff. So this looks pretty tasty to me.
Yeah,
That's
it's
worth
a
it.
quick, it's super fast pick me up. That's pretty much it. I'm glad that it came out just because between Zenkai Broly and the God Vegeta, I ran out of yellows. So I'm like, oh, this is great. That'll help me get there real quick.
Talk
Are
to
we
Grush.
supposed to-
Grush over here.
Someone in chat, this how are we supposed to buy the missions if we barely get new events? It's called the shop.
Yeah. MasterCard, Visa, American Express.
PayPal.
Well,
Pretty
this
sure-
this
Hon-
is
I'm pretty sure
honestly-
those are all
premium.
accepted methods of payment. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Bro, they need to release some new events, bro. Because like, from UI Goku to Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta and whatever unit is coming out next week or whatever, like, we need events. Toshi, if you're watching this, we need events, please. We're broke.
Yeah.
Okay,
Come on,
the
we got champion
2000, the
bonus.
2000 CC, the 2000, the 2000 CC from PvP is not enough, man. It really
Now we
isn't.
got the
need some
raids
events.
too, which are 2,000 more CC, I guess. But I think outside of that, we had what now? Champion bonus and the Galactic Patrol event.
Champion bonus was such a chore to do, like, bro.
You mean the
just-
2
just
seconds of
give-
auto?
But I don't want to open
Bro,
it.
it's
and I
like-
sometimes forget.
Exactly,
Yeah.
dude. It went on for what, 18 days or something? Dude, it went on for so long. Every day, champion bonus. Like, bro, just give me the CC some other quick way, please.
One thing I do like is they got that a little box when you go on the main menu now, and you can tap it and see all the missions you haven't cleared out for that day. Like that. That's
They
been
have
helping me. Yeah, if you go to the main screen, it says like "Let's Fight" and all that, and you can click it.
Yeah, recommended
Honest,
stage.
honestly, I would go to the main screen, click PvP, and then just do that because that's really all I do. in the game,
Oh,
so.
I like to recommend it every day. And I think if they expand that, and then it's already new, but if they expand it to let everybody know, oh, you haven't finished the Zenkai unit, go spend your energy. I like it. I think that expand on that right
I mean,
direction.
this celebration was also missing the generally like regular 50 or 51 stage event, right? Like there was the raid against
It was missing a
Broly
lot.
and the co-op, but there was no event that featured Gogeta Blue like in any capacity where you fought him, like really. Like,
Honestly, it felt like a lot of all their major celebrations feel like they're catering towards new players, so they bring back these things. So it's like, okay, there's a lot of hype in the game, a lot of new players are going to try it out, so let's bring these things back. But for anyone that's already been through them, I don't want to say veterans, but anyone that's been playing for a little bit, you kind of feels like we don't really have much. That's where the raid is, I guess. But I mean, outside of that,
got
it's like we're being
samey.
told, hey, you PvP. It's the
Yeah,
same
returning
thing. Go
back.
back.
We haven't had a challenge rush with a special challenge rush 2020 start of 2021 challenge rush title. Like they haven't had one of those in forever. Like
Can you even call these celebrations now? I mean, we pretty much know the formula: a banner, one event, and that's it. Like it is not a celebration anymore, bro. For 2021, please change the formula. We already know what's coming: celebration, banner, a couple corner crystals, an event, and 2 times RP PvP. Like that, it's so lame now.
Wait, you
Let's
said
switch
a
it up.
banner, not banners.
7.
Oh, sorry, yeah, banners.
forgot
and
a
no
Zenkai?
events.
Don't
and
forget
then
a Zenkai.
Yeah, then that.
My bad.
At that point, dude, I'm swarming with stuff to do. At that point, I'm drowning.
But not in energy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I
they
don't know.
really need
Just,
to come out with like a new mode or something for 2021, please. Like,
or I don't know. I
return of
remember,
the same formula.
but I also remember. I think it was yesterday, Prof, when we were ranting a bit on your stream about content and what's not content and events, and we were actually fondly remembering the what was it, Full Power Frieza event
Yeah, I was actually
because
gonna
it
bring
was
that up.
hard.
Like, we were musing just at the idea of maybe like a daily rotational fight, right? You beat it, you get 50
Yeah.
CC, costs no energy, but it's wicked hard. You're gonna sit there talking to everybody on the Reddit about what team beats this. Oh, I don't have that freaking LF unit, whatever.
Ooh.
Like, if they had a
Ooh.
rotational fight every day, you get your CC, you earn it. The issue for me with the Full Power Frieza event is I was taking fat L's. I actually didn't even beat it. And I cleared out hundreds of energy just trying the dang thing, right? But I had fun, and that's weird for me to say about PvE because I felt like I was trying to learn that fight and make do with what I had. If they gave me stuff like that to do daily, like, oof.
Yeah.
You've never learned it, and
To
you're
your
like
point-
a top like 1 player. Like you can hit number 1. The average
Yeah, but
person
the-
can't beat that stuff without those units. Like even like if you didn't have Namagoku with that Frieza one, that Frieza event, yeah, it was
Yeah,
kind
it
of fun.
was.
It was harder. It was a bitch. Like let's be honest here, it sucked. If you didn't have
Yeah,
Namagoku,
that's just bad design.
You could squeeze
That
by
is
with
bad
the
design.
transforming Super Saiyan.
you could
Blue
squeeze
Vegeta.
by, but
You'd have
if
to
you're
take
a
like
really
30
good player.
tries.
If you're, but back then they
Yeah.
gave 1,000 CC for it, so I guess
Yeah.
fine, granted. But actually, that kind of sucked more because then you have your average player who's like, I just want to get Broly, and they're like, well, you got to be Frieza, bro. Good luck. Like,
What Prof
Well,
was
at least
talking
they
about,
could,
like,
they could go back to the drawing board and at least tone it down a little bit in terms of like, because it was always just him PV and then immediately a blue card and then you're
Yeah.
dead. That's the
you
issue.
can't even
That's
So
speak,
basically-
bro. You beat it with
that's
just
PvE in
like,
general.
Gogeta, bro. You beat it with old blue Gogeta. You can't even speak. You're kicking ass.
Dude,
Uh,
that
it was. I had fun
The way-
trying to beat it though.
Oh, I know. No, you made a bunch of videos on that. I remember that.
yeah, it's fun, but like it's also bad design in a sense. Like to what Brad said, like if you're a new player, you're not gonna be there at all. Like you're gonna feel stressed out if you don't have the unit and whatnot. So it's like on one side, it's like it's fun, but on the other side, it's stressful.
Well, just give
for
us
new
more
players,
options.
so
If
it's
they
like-
bring it
I
back,
mean-
that's fine. Just don't make it the most
Well,
recent LF.
that's
Came
why
out.
But
and
you
make
could-
I mean,
that-
isn't it okay that you can't clear everything as a new player?
Oh, of
because I
course,
mean,
of
look at
course.
Dokkan, they're Super Battle Road. This is not new player content, right? There has to be something for people who've been playing since day one or for over half a year.
I
which sort of
100% agree. But you
challenges,
have
right?
to remember your player base. If you're going to aim a lot of events towards new players, is if they're all coming in or they're all getting here. People are coming back after a year, whatever else. You can't be chucking events like that at them if you're trying to get them into the game, right? Like it. I
think
agree
the
with you. But there
the
needs to be
main
content
problem
for
is-
people who've been playing a lot too.
So
You're
what
right.
Brad
Yes.
I feel like Ultra Space Time Rush was supposed to be the I'm an OG player, look how
Oof.
far I can get.
Oh,
And then-
Oh God, no! I remember that,
Oh,
bro.
God,
People
that's
don't even
boring.
take it
That's
for
boring,
granted now.
so-
If you didn't play the old USTR, you take it for granted now, man.
I never played it. I never played it until it changed. Like I saw some videos and I was like, nope, I am not doing this. This is not worth my time. I'm just gonna go play PvP.
Yeah, it's
until
like-
it got changed.
It took 4 hours to clear out the whole mode of just constant sitting there playing. I kind of like what a hybrid of like Brad's idea almost. I think they should honestly steal a page from Mortal Kombat 11 and do like a daily rotating tower, right? And one day you might not have the right units. Okay, you can't beat it, but guess what? It's coming back tomorrow, and you can try again. Just like 10 random bosses. It rotates every day. You get like 300 CC for beating it. Just daily tower challenges. Boom, there you go.
I think the issue is
Get
it would
people
just
in the
get
game.
it probably
But-
just gets stale really quick.
That's why
It'd just be USTR again. It's like, oh look, daily USTR auto mode, and I walk away.
Yeah, that's what the rotating bosses for each day, each time would help. But yeah, that would be something that they would have to design around so that it didn't get too boring, like USTR.
It just goes back to the fact
I
that
think-
making PvE content for this game is a little
Yeah.
bit difficult because I mean it's hard to design AI, and their only way of really scaling difficulty is they're a sponge. They hit you really hard, and they'll stand there and PV you whenever you try to attack.
I think
the
Legends, when it comes down to
Sorry, go ahead.
When it comes down to PvE Legends, it's just I don't think it's ever gonna work out because the game PvP and PvE are so completely different. It's crazy, and PvP is way more fun than PvE because PvE the bots sit there and they're just waiting there, attack, perfect vanish, you're in a combo. That is not fun at all. So I think when it comes to PvE for a game like Legends, it's just never gonna be that thing that you say, oh wait, I'm gonna play PvE today. Let's go. So
it doesn't have to be that thing. It doesn't have to be super duper exciting, right? Like it's just it has to get people into the game. That's it. And then they play the stages. Like I've had some events, like I like that cooler event where you did the raid with the cooler. That was cool. I got my ass beat like 10 times, and I was like, this is fun though. Like I can actually get behind this. Those kind of things were fun. I just regular we've all talked about it a billion times. I don't have a good time with that. We always compare it to Dokkan and stuff like that, and it's like Dokkan started out as PvE and it's still PvE. That's why it works. Legends, they gave us something that's way better. Well, sometimes. And it's tough to switch. You can go ahead. You're good, Prof.
Say like the PvE in this game could do well. It's just that right now we have an issue. If you make the bot air quotes better, it just perfect vanishes you indefinitely, right? If you make the bot worse, then you just cream it. And right now, in its current state, you can just float step it. You can trick the AI and just sit still and endlessly beat it, right? It's just a joke. But if they have the fight scripted, like, at 25 counts, the boss does a big AoE attack, and so maybe you need to bring a barrier character to eat the attack. If they have these scripted moments where you need to bring kits and then actually play through the fight just like any other RPG boss, then you could most definitely have some in-depth PvE content. But if it's just, oh, here's the new model of Cell, go kill it 51 times, then it's gonna suck.
Agreed.
That's an interesting idea.
It would almost benefit PvE if they just came up with a different game mode, like altogether for PvE. Like keep the PvP, like don't mess with that too much. Keep that core aspect there. And then do like what Kakarot did and release like a Hearthstone clone. Be like, all right, you want to play PvE? Like, play this card game. You want to play PvP? Like, play actual Legends. Like, here you go. 2 definitive experiences that cater to 2 different groups. Because the people that enjoy playing PvP and Legends are all like us. Like, fighting against the AI just sucks. It's boring. Yeah. It never feels like you're fighting against another unpredictable human being. And they can't emulate a human being like in computer format in this game. They just
and it doesn't teach you anything. Like you don't learn anything playing PvE. Like everything is completely backwards to how it's in PvP. And it's like if I'm doing a really hard event, it should be training me to fight PvP. But it's like I feel like I'm playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 all over again. I kicked ass in the story mode, then I got in PvP, and I was like, oh, okay, I suck ass. I got you. Like that's what it feels like. I don't know. It's just not rewarding in that sense. It took me like. Oh, what are we? 2 years, 2.5 years in now? And yeah, we can say we're decent at the game now, but I mean, it's not from PvE content.
Yep, that is for sure. It is not from PvE content at all. Because no one in PvP plays like PvE. No one just well, to a degree, they sit there and wait.
Okay, some kids do. Yeah, like
so but they don't perfect vanish you every single time. So
I remember beating the original like story that they had in the game when the game came out. And then going into PvP and people were sidestepping, and I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah, because you never have to do that versus the AI. Like,
yeah.
The AI never does anything unpredictable. Like it always attacks when it has a window of opportunity. It always perfect vanishes. You always know it's going to perfect vanish because it just sits there floating sideways, waiting for you to attack. Like,
I was like, why are people jumping every time they attack?
Yeah,
because I just play PvE up until that point.
The computer, and I honestly, it might not be all their fault. Like on the phone, I just don't know if the computing power is even there for them to make an AI strong enough to emulate an actual human being, right? Like there's just too many variables. There's too much random stuff that real players do that makes no sense and sometimes can throw you the entire fight off a bad decision. Like, how do you program that into the computer to make it like biff and sidestep twice while you sit there and wait for it to catch it in a panic swipe? Like, you can't really do that. The computer just won't react that way.
I'm pretty sure they added like the bot to like I'm pretty sure I've seen a bot charge step before. I'm pretty sure I've seen that. Like I think
he'll do
so.
the
I think they took data. I don't know how they do it, but like sometimes I'm like, is this a bot? Because it's like they're playing like a real player, so it's like sometimes it's like hard to tell. So I don't know if they can do it like on a wide scale where it's like, but that's pretty impressive to be honest.
I had that experience too, because you know how sometimes when you see the bottom right connecting thing, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
100% they dropped. Well, sometimes it doesn't
Yeah.
actually, they don't drop, they stay. And I was like, I unfortunately said, is this a bot now while beating the player? And the player commented like, oh, call me a bot. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. I thought it was a bot.
Feels bad,
Yeah,
man.
like I don't know. I've seen the bots do some interesting plays. Like sometimes you see people do like a little charge step after a strike card and stuff. And
Yeah.
I've seen the bot do that before. I'm like, oh, you're learning. I got to stop playing PvE, otherwise
Yeah.
I'm gonna get too smart.
It
So
will
I'm stopping right now.
It will do some things like that emulate humans, but it never chains
Yeah.
them in a sequence. Like it'll do that like once, and then that'll be it. Like it'll emulate one or two little things that human players will do, but it never chains them together in a believably human way. Right? That's the problem.
They could pull it off. I remember reading into this thing where they had an incredibly intelligent AI learn how to play a MOBA before, Dota 2.
And it was beating everybody, dude. It beat all the championship players too.
Yep.
All of them.
Can you imagine if they decided, hey, guys that made that bot, can we borrow that for Legends for a second here? And then just everyone gets destroyed. PvP #1 is a bot, and it would be hilarious.
That's pretty funny. That'd be hilarious.
No, he's right. I actually sat down and watched that whole video, and at first the bot was terrible, and like all the pro players beat it. But after like 5-10 matches, it literally learned, and it became unbeatable. Like it would zone the players perfectly. It would always be in perfect range to do its abilities, while the humans were outside of range to react. Like it learned, and it smoked everybody.
It was terrifying.
That'd be interesting.
Okay, I think we've been rambling for quite a bit. We have at least a few more topics where we can ramble some more. But so a few quick ones. We saw the Kakarot Goku event coming back. Nas, do you think that means anything?
I don't really think it has too much significant meaning to it, but we do know, and this is something else that we could play into for our speculating about future Zenkais. Like the Kakarot event is dropped today. DLC for Kakarot actually drops later today, or maybe it just did. I don't know, but
you mean fighters?
Yeah, fighters. I'm sorry. So maybe they're just trying to integrate with some other games that are bigger. I don't think Kakarot's expecting anything new right now, but
I don't think it's meant to. I don't think it feeds into the idea that he's getting a Zenkai. I think it's just they saw a lot of new players come in with UI and Broly and everything, so they're like, let's bring back this dude just so they have a character that they could farm. So who knows? Maybe 21's going to show up again too, the free to play one.
This would be the second time that he's returned, but more importantly, what does this say about the free to play Blue 21? Because she came out before this Kakarot, but her event has not returned when this one is now returning a second time.
Isn't it an issue with licensing with fighters?
Yeah,
we run it.
Did she come out before?
I mean, it could be licensing with fighters, but this is also licensing with
damn.
Kakarot, right? So the same would apply to this, right? Unless
who really knows what the politics behind it really is? I think maybe it just means that they're getting around to it, and we could see her come back again. I know that the whole thing is tricky.
It's kind of funny how we want to talk about Kakarot, but the first thing is, oh, that means 21 is coming back, right? And nobody's really talking about Kakarot Goku anymore.
Oh, I mean, if we want to talk about the character himself, I mean, I think he's awesome. I hate the event. You can't skip ticket farming any of the droppable items, so you can't even properly farm the equip that they dropped.
No, the only one you can do is you can do the Super Soul stage. We went through this last night on
Ginyu
stream.
stage.
Yeah, the Ginyu stage, you can farm fish with skip tickets.
I farmed a good amount of them.
That was a big sad face. I don't know why they.
Yeah,
because the equipment, the only thing that we care about. They didn't even refresh the missions or anything.
Yeah,
It's
the
a new item in
equipment
the shop,
is
though, right?
insanely good, and you do need multiple of it. Like, because obviously you're probably going to have more than one Goku on your team at any given time if you're running a team that has Goku on it. So yeah, you probably would want at least.
That's a good point. That's
Yeah.
a good point.
You want at least 2, possibly 3 of them for every character that's like, you know, you're bringing to battle, because it's an insanely good equipment. But yeah, they really time gated that equipment behind just the effort of farming. It's not like the PvP equipment, right? Like they just hand out those medals like candy, and then you go into the PvP store and just buy like 30 or 100, however many you want of the one you need. But this one, no, it's going to take more time to get this one. I don't know. Hopefully they don't do this for every new piece of equipment that's really good. The event itself, like everyone mentioned, is just basically just a 100% recycle. So there's not too much.
But I will tell free to plays I wouldn't burn all your energy trying to get fish for it. Like I wouldn't. It's not really worth that. Like, yeah, it's a good equip, but
I wouldn't
you can
even
find other equip you're gonna work on your Gokus, and it's gonna get added to the shop eventually. So I wouldn't burn all your stuff right now.
I wouldn't even necessarily burn all your energy trying to 14-star this Goku unless there's like old missions that you're still trying to get, or like, I mean, like he's not super playable in the meta right now. He's a great bench for Gokus with the health buff, but outside of that, like, I don't know if it's worth like thousands of energy to push him to 14 stars like right now.
I mean, how much would you need? I don't think would it be thousands?
It's hard.
Well, if you were
a
starting
rookie.
from scratch.
Increase. If you're starting from scratch, of course. Yeah, if you're just getting I would say like 700, because like Wrathful Broly was like 700. I can't imagine it's much more than that. Maybe it is though. I don't know. I haven't done it in like a year, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, and again, I don't think that he's getting a Zenkai super soon. I mean, we just got the God Vegeta. Usually they take like 2 weeks to do one. But it's possible, I guess. But yeah, the free-to-play Broly, usually they don't pace out free-to-play Zenkais that rapidly either, right? And like the Broly event is still alive, so I don't know. I wouldn't see him getting a Zenkai. I think someone in chat mentioned that this Goku came out while they were taking a break from Legends. So I think he's just recycling back just for availability, right? Just like how we just had the Legends Road Green Gohan cycle back, but he didn't Zenkai, right? It just, they threw it in to fill an empty time slot for an event, right?
All right.
I think it's funny.
I think that's pretty much all we can really talk about this event, right? And yeah, there's one more thing that I think Goresh said yesterday, is that now we can pretty much confirm that the Zenkai daily summons are only going to be on returning banners.
Yeah. That's it. Do them. And
Yep.
Yeah, they won't start.
Yep.
Like, you saw Vegeta come out. He's still 100. Same thing with Red Gogeta. But the 4 old ones that have cycled back had the dailies with the purple Vegeta, Bardock, Red Cell, and...
Isn't it weird they gave it to Bardock so early? Not like Boo or something, or... I mean, maybe it's because of Broly, but I just think it's weird that Bardock got it so fast after he released.
Oh, you mean his banner coming back?
No, getting the 20 discount.
Yeah, just his Zenkai banner returning.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
Probably like you said, it's
They
because
want to kill FSK, that's why.
a lot of relevant Super Saiyans have just come out or been reworked, so...
He's a blue Saiyan buff, and we dropped a blue Saiyan, so I guess it makes sense.
They
They want to kill FSK. That's what they
I
want.
like it. I mean, I saw a lot of people saying, like, because I put up a thing saying, I'm glad it's free, and people are like, it's not free, and it's like, well, I mean, 200 to 400 CC for a Zenkai level, that's pretty good. Like, 20 a day, yeah, it does rack up pretty quick if you're using all the 20s a day, but if you're skipping some of the other random banners you don't need stuff on for the dailies, I mean, throw it on a Zenkai banner. It's better than what we had before. I'll take anything positive.
And yeah, ZVG was saying they're trying to kill FSK. One of the things I noticed, he's all just about to fall off the top 20 characters that people are using.
Who? FSK?
Okay, go on. Yeah.
Well, it makes because blue
because he's not like
Saiyans
fun to use. Like we all know he's like crazy busted. He can be fun. You know, if you really
not
need to
hear
grind the
Brack, you not hear ZVG because you just raw.
I can't hear ZVG at all. No, I can't hear him at all.
Yeah, you just raw cut him off.
My bad. You can go ZVG. I literally can't hear you. Let me dip out and get back in.
I was saying that blue purple Saiyans was FSK hard. Like that team,
like it was in extreme. I think Prof can attest to this, right?
It definitely gives me a lot of trouble. I would say the unit that gives me the most trouble right now is Topo. If you mess up versus Topo, I've lost my Gohan. I get blast carded from Dispo. Topo flies in here with his main ability, and I'm screwed.
Yeah.
That man
And the
is
fact that FSK is very boring. Like, okay, yeah, he's the best unit in the game, but like at a certain point, you're like, bro, I'm tired of one-shot units now. Like, I want to do something else. So it's like that could also be a factor because like 18 is not played at all. 18 and Gohan are like the most two boring units in the game because they just completely kill teams for you without doing any work. So it's like people just get tired of it. Except Prof.
I do not work every time I grind up the ladder then.
Or it could be because people are just like, oh, I can't bank on a unit that doesn't have some sort of immunity to abnormal effects. Because I'm running into more frequently this annoying mono blue team with Hercule, Bardock, and Broly. And FSK can't hold a torch to that once he's paralyzed. Just done.
People who run Hercule, why? Why do you run Hercule? But like, it doesn't make.
I don't know why people.
If you're not good, you need to bank on RNG.
It's cheese, but I see it all the time. It's just Hercule, go to Bardock, then Broly, and then just strike card. Because odds are you're either paralyzed or you went with a blast card, and they kind of just squished out every sort of counter to it, and they just bank on hoping they hit you. And if they hit you, I mean, what are you gonna do? Switch? You can't. You're gonna give Broly card draw speed, and he has Bardock's crit buffs, and it's awful. It is an awful combo to deal with.
Showcase incoming.
Going back to Gohan, I actually feel like UI Goku kind of hindered him with the debuff removal from his main as well.
Yeah, there's that as well. All his things can be canceled.
And
well, most of them.
Now fusions with the red Gogeta is runnable. You have literally every character on the main lineup.
Unless you have like Fat Boo or like 16.
Or you have like every character on the main lineup of fusions that can remove buffs. Like Vegito Blue removes buffs with his green card. You have Gogeta Blue and the Zenkai Red Gogeta, who also both remove all your buffs with the green card. So there's a lot of tools to remove people's buffs nowadays that make life a little scarier for Gohan.
Beerus does as well with his green card.
Yeah.
The thing that's cool though is that maybe this is like the beginning stages of the meta, not just because it's always just been like, oh, if you have a team consisting of the hardest hitting guys, you're basically guaranteed to win. But maybe things are shifting a little bit where it's going from, oh, you have the strongest team to more like you have a more technical team, because like teams with like cover rescues and taking away buffs and like green card AoE stuff and blast armor and all this other stuff. Maybe that's sort of why he's dropping a couple points. It's not because he's not so formidable, but just more interesting and more technical units have come out that when played at that level could outperform.
They feel better. Or I don't know.
Yeah, because I
think
mean,
it's just boredom, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. I think since we're moving towards the break, let's move on to the last two things. I remember, Prof, you suggested speculating a little bit since there are the community is discussing a possible Zenkai for the Blue Super Saiyan 2 Future Trunks and also Yellow Piccolo.
And keep in mind, this speculation is rooted in the fact that we just got the Vegeta we've talked about at Links today, and that would be the third unit featured in the teaser video. When I guess was that the videos and stuff that they revealed that?
It was Jump Festa,
yeah,
the great disconnect of 2020.
With
I can pull up a picture of it right now for people on screen. But yeah, they did. What was that, like a promo fight during Jump Festa?
Yeah, a very odd team. You could try to argue that it's a YYB team, but anybody that knows anything about knows that it is not a team. And so immediate red flags went off that this was possibly them teasing Zenkais. We just got the Vegeta, and now we see a Piccolo and a Trunks. And we were just talking about how when TKP came out, he completely invalidated that Piccolo, right? And so it's a premium unit about to get his day in the sun. We might see that soon. But specifically, I'm going to talk about the Trunks. When he dropped, he was all right. He kind of ran well with my team, but specifically his kit, it seems to be more of a support based, where he kind of takes a hit, deals a decent amount, and then he's kind of a pseudo last man standing. And I think I would be very happy if he buffs not blue hybrids, but blue future. and brings
yes.
much needed bulk and support.
Honestly,
Vegito Blue,
honestly,
yeah.
BB will be happy. Yep.
for future, I think that this Trunks is the best option for future because future is going to a blast based team with Cell, Vegeta, and Goku Black. So if you add this Trunks, who's like a blast character with those three, it'd be pretty. Future would be a pretty nice team with that Trunks getting Zenkai. To be honest, so that's a Zenkai I'm looking forward to because like that's perfect for future.
Someone in chat brought up an interesting point, not to deflect too much, but the Piccolo doesn't even have a platinum equipment yet, does he?
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
Oh, he does?
It's actually quite good.
Okay. I was going to say, like, they wouldn't release the Zenkai
The
before
problem with
platinum equipment, would they?
The problem with Piccolo is that he hasn't been on many banners at all. That's really
He's
the
on the
issue.
current one right now.
He was just on 2, bro.
And you can
With
use
all the other LFs.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, I pulled 2 of them on the freaking New Year's banner. Okay, leave me alone. I have
I pulled
PTSD.
4 freezes. Feel my pain.
Well, at the very
Yeah.
least, you know he's going to get a Zenkai eventually, right? So
Yeah.
you're going to need more copies of him at some point.
Odds are he's going to get a return banner too, just like what they did with Namagoku, I believe, when
He
his
had one,
Zenkai
right?
came. There was a return for him. Legends return.
Zenkai baby too, please. Zenkai
didn't-
baby.
That's what I was trying to
already
say
have-
earlier. Like, we're talking about potential Zenkais, but in Dragon Ball Fighters today, Baby 2 drops. So what a
Didn't we
perfect
discuss
time.
last week that they don't have any coordination when it comes to that
No,
kind of
well, they don't always, but this would be a perfect time to capitalize on that. Like, why not? Like,
GT and
I
Region
did-
need a blue.
Yeah, I did bring that up in the previous podcast. I was like, it would be great if they Zenkai units that had overlap to teams that needed it, and GT and Regen need a blue, like ZVG said. So it seems
Baby
like a
would be
no-brainer.
perfect for both of those teams. It would be,
GT needs to
but they never do the right thing, right? Legends never does the right thing at the right time, so it's not gonna happen for now for sure.
really wanted to fight Boo and Baby again. I mean, I'm down if you guys are down, but
Well,
Ooh,
we
baby
have,
and
we have,
Piccolo.
okay.
we have units that
Dangerous
nullify healing a lot.
Dude,
So-
my purple Super Saiyan 3 is not even worried. Like, okay, bring
Yeah, they have
Regen,
used that-
bring him back. I don't
That
care.
nullify healing a lot, so it's like, okay,
Gohan doesn't
we
care
have some
about that
family
either.
running around.
Yeah, I know. I have a.
Okay, so like honestly, let's say Baby got the Zenkai.
Yeah.
Would GT get resurrected?
No.
No.
I mean, really
Not
and truthfully, would they?
Not
Like,
fully, not fully.
would they really
need-
get
they need
resurrected?
one-
Let's be
Well,
honest
look,
here.
it's a step in the right direction, but GT, like, they don't even have a single cover change unit yet. So
They need like 2 Zenkais, 4 new
just
units. They're
hope
GT
needing a
needs
lot.
like 4 Zenkais to even be
Units
relevant.
that have
Wait,
double
wait,
buffs.
They need a whole new
They don't
team.
have a cover change.
Like,
Super 17's got you covered, and he absorbs.
Dude,
Yeah,
oh, that
but
guy sucks. Come on.
he doesn't
GT
know.
Yeah.
hey, whoa.
GT will never be a team again.
Super 17's cover
we'll get
change
something.
doesn't count.
I don't think that.
I
Treat
think,
the
I think,
GT.
I think
tag as
GT
like
will
a
never be a
bonus
team again.
tag, and just keep. if
I
you-
just don't think it'll be a consistent team ever. Like
Like,
we're gonna
Super-
keep seeing resurgence, and then it's gonna die in a week.
Super
Like, that's what I
17's
think.
cover change doesn't even have a knockback on it. It's
Dude,
not a real
GT
cover
needs
change.
units that double buff the team.
That's a big thing too, actually. I don't understand why. It's just a bunch of the prominent units
Dude,
are all just single
They
buffers.
designed GT to die.
I
They
mean,
designed
I'm
GT
literally
to die,
making a
bro.
claim GT will never exist as a team again. At least competitive.
I think they
The
just don't
thing
have
with
enough
Z
units
abilities-
to pick from compared. Like that's the issue, I think, because GT encompasses a good amount of stuff, but nothing at the same time. But we've talked about it before, how there's units they could do, but there's very few hype units they could do. Like
even if
Super
they
Saiyan
drop-
Gogeta's not
Would
saving
they-
GT. They saw
would they
look what they
Zenkai-
did to the last Gogeta.
GT.
When they
They could recycle plenty of the good units in GT and give them transforming versions, and they would have a good team. Like if they came
Dude.
out with a Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku who transforms into Super Saiyan 4, boom. They come out with a Super Baby 1 who transforms into Super Baby 2. Boom, is another great one. They come out with a Sin Shenron who transforms into Omega Shenron. Boom. Obviously, Super
there's
Saiyan
plenty
4
of stuff.
Gogeta.
There's plenty of units, but I mean hype. Like we got Omega Super
Those
Saiyan
units
4.
are all hype.
Who else is?
Everyone I
Yeah,
Who else-
Super
No.
Baby Super Baby 1 really did a number on the medal last time it came out.
He really was hyped. Let me tell you
Well,
what, dude. When his banner came out, I was like, bro, I got
Baby 2 is the hype one, and a transforming version would arguably be more hype than what's available.
I agree.
I
currently.
don't- the only
I
thing
can
that was
agree.
hype was the guy's haircut. That character was not good.
Dude, they need to.
You say that he's not
the first
hype,
thing they need to
but
do is
they-
give them double Z abilities. That's the first thing. Don't even think about Zenkai anybody. Give them double Z abilities. Thank you. What?
Well, Omega
why
has it,
design them
so,
with
like-
one? It doesn't make any sense.
Omega has it, right? Is he the
I
only
think-
one?
You know what?
He's the
They
only.
should
I
just
think
go-
he's the only one.
They should go one step further. They should make Z abilities for GT, just like what they did with Broly and the Purple Vegeta. It's a double buffer for your tag with a sprinkle of a little bit more if you're something specific. They should just do
bro,
that.
I don't
mean,
know.
Yeah,
the
they
powerful
need it.
one for
You mean
GT.
I've
you mean
heard
if you're
enough.
You mean if
I've
you're
heard
Super
enough.
Saiyan 4 because it's the only thing that actually matters? in
I've
GT?
heard
Yeah, why
enough.
not?
I'm putting my fist down. People
Okay.
saw Super Saiyan 4 Golden Ape Baby 2 and they lost their shit on Twitter. All right?
I thought you were gonna say Tech Gohan was better.
No.
Yeah,
like,
you mean how-
there
I'm putting my
there
you mean
is
how-
enough hype. If they released a transforming Baby to Baby 2 and he had an Ultimate Arts where he turned Golden Ape and did some crazy stuff, it would be hype enough to push GT somewhere.
You mean how the Super Baby 2 trailer resulted in people trending Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta? Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously that was part of the backpack hype, but that's still another GT unit, and it had tons of hype circling around it.
We already know what they do to Gogetas. Let's not bank it
Gogeta-
all.
Oh, okay, so I think
Unless
Nas
they're
heard.
gonna Zenkai.
I
I'm
think
still hearing a
Nas heard
bunch of
enough.
negative Nancy stuff from Rally. The faith
Yeah,
is just
Nas-
not there.
You know what? Just
Nas
Zenkai
had-
the red
yeah.
Vegeta.
I think Nas had enough, so that means we're moving to the break now. Because
Zenkai all of them.
it's a
We
little
didn't even
bit.
talk about Piccolo.
Do you want to talk about Piccolo?
The Zenkai Piccolo. that's
Yeah,
what
he'll be okay. No one has it.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
all
done.
to say.
Yeah, there you go.
make him broken like every other Zenkai and we'll be good.
Gohan will just shred him. It doesn't matter. The guy's all about, oh, my blue card
Okay,
is going to
real talk. Will he be better than DKP? You guys
Wait,
think he'll be better
wait,
than if
wait.
he gets better than
Yes,
Zenkai?
I think
hard to do
LF
that.
Zenkai
It's
has always
hard.
been really good.
No,
They
The
think
people,
it'd
Broly
be
mechanic. He gets in
people
the field with like
Rather
3
than
timer
DKP
counts.
though, dude, DKP is a different beast, dude. Like, I don't know about better than DKP to be honest. Like, I
no,
don't
Okay,
know.
all right.
defensively, we know he'll be better.
the chat.
We'll
Defensively, how
see
do
what they do.
heal?
For all we know, they give him 300% blue card damage and he just one-shots everyone. We don't know what he does.
The chat.
I mean,
you're-
look at his
that actually
stats. Look at his
happened
stats. Nas, if you
That
can
happened
if you can max
before
out his
Raiden.
stats, can you show it?
yeah, they are maxed out.
No, scroll down.
Raiden.
You scroll, do you
That
mind
happened
scrolling
before
down?
Raiden.
I already
Look at
I
his
did show
stats
them
right
off
now.
earlier,
This
but-
this is not outdated old stats. So picture this with a Zenkai. He'll put Namek Goku to shame. His defenses are going to be absurd. So I would imagine that just his basic kit with higher stats would be a huge jump for him. Like the dude gets his vanish back. I mean, that's a big
he's got
plus.
blast armor.
He has a
blues.
heal.
I think the biggest thing though, if they just give it to where he doesn't have to care about red, give him that same Gohan treatment. Well, Gohan already had it, but
Yeah,
give
dude,
all
if
hit
he,
where, like,
if he gets that, bro,
mm, it'd be unstoppable.
that'd
It'd be
be
the
that'd be
perfect answer. It'd be yellow. Give him like 3 to 5
that'd
timer
be
counts when he covers.
spicy as hell.
All right.
Go ahead, Prof.
That'd be spicy.
EX, what is it? Deborah who has it? Where if he faces a blue, he goes type
Yeah.
neutral. Just give
Oh,
it that.
yeah.
Every time he faces a blue, type neutral for 5 timer counts. You're right. That's it.
Yeah,
The
bro,
Bora
just making the
can't
new
tank Gogeta
Deborah.
Blue.
I'm down, dude. Just making the new Deborah.
Yes, Zenkai Dabura. Yeah,
Please,
He
oh
could
my
do
god.
How do we get
Canada.
to Zenkai Deborah?
Well,
Please do it.
Zenkai Dabura, please.
I put him
No.
as my character that I wanted Zenkai in the survey.
Just give him powerful opponent. I don't understand why he doesn't have it.
Dude, he can literally tank anything, bro. He's a beast, bro.
What?
Dabura's a beast.
He can tank Gogeta Blue, huh?
Yeah, they
You'd
just
have
need
to watch my
to
video to understand.
they just need to give him an ultimate. It's the supreme damage. Level
Give him
5's
death
turn.
buffs. Provides someone death buffs.
Give him
And,
everything.
and people are still misunderstanding when it, like the hype around the Baby 2 was around the Golden Ozaru form. All right.
Bro, this man's still going on about baby.
Well, I'm because
No, well-
people in the chat, or so I'm responding more to them than y'all. Like people are like that wasn't hype, like, blah, blah, blah. But if they, like I said, if you brought the Golden Ape to Legends, that would arouse more interest than just tossing out another copy paste model of the one we already have.
I mean, it would be the first
Dude,
golden ape anything.
Yes,
of course
it
it'd be
would be the
nice.
first
Topos-
Ozaru in the game. Period. That's why I think it would
Dude,
pique attention.
Can you imagine that model, bro? Look at Topo already. Imagine the Great Ape, bro. Like,
Well, it would be like a feature of an animation, not like you playing as the ape and shit.
no,
I can
but
only imagine
if you could
Pomgo
play-
right now is like smacking his forehead, dude. He was like, "Let's go to break," and it's like, "Hold on, let's
Yeah.
talk to him on this." One
That's
sec.
how my baby-
My forehead is big enough. I can smack a lot. But yeah, I think it's time for that. We'll take a quick break, go over to the questions. And again, if you want your questions in the podcast, you have two avenues of doing that. Either join our public Discord and put your questions in the chat there. We have a channel for that. Or keep your eyes open on our Twitter. We have a questions thread on Friday before the podcast starts. And with that, we'll see you all in 3 minutes. All right, welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a good break. We certainly missed you. No, we're now back to the questions. And the first question is coming from our public Discord from Adam Water, asking, who was the unit that terrified you the most on release?
I mean, Vegito Blue.
That's pretty
right?
hard.
It's got to be Vegito Blue.
We've had like a couple of units that like have broken the meta, like Green
Broly.
Bardock, Holy Trinity.
When
That's
I
what it was.
No, go
nowhere
ahead, Carl.
near as decent at the game as I am right now. I just kind of was getting into it when IT Goku dropped, and I can't tell you how many times I bashed my head on the table. Like, why am I fighting this? I hated him so much.
For me, it was Namek Goku.
Okay, well, I don't know if terrified is the right word for this, but the unit that I hate fighting the most, well, there's two. One is Zenkai 18, and then one is Hercule.
Oh, Hercule. No, you revised my statement. I hate Hercule. Screw that character.
I think the first unit for me was Bardock and the green Bardock with his lock and his strike buff. And that meta was crazy, the green yellow meta.
Do you
Yeah,
remember?
the GGY was insane.
Do you remember the comments surrounding that? I remember everyone was talking about how high his stats were, and they're like, "This character's gonna break the game. We need to get rid of Bardock right now, otherwise we're going down a slippery slope." Oh boy!
Here we are.
Little
No,
did they
I know
know.
the unit. It was Green Goten. Green Goten. When he came out, sidestep was not nerfed at all, and he would just one combo everything.
You mean
Goten
when
is
he
definitely the one for me.
one-shots you with a strike card?
Yeah. Green Goten is the one for me, bro. I cannot forget that meta.
Bardock's 500k tap attack.
I don't. Still, for me, there's been no more boring and annoying time to play the game than right after Vegito Blue launched. Like,
Yeah.
that was just so boring for so long. Like, there was just no counter to that mess, and it was just every match like super.
The Pycon came out though.
Yeah, that helped. I didn't get him either, so I couldn't counter Vegito Blue with Pycon. But yeah, Vegito Blue and Kefla together was just, for me, it was the most, like, I actually stopped playing the game for a little while because
I still have issues with Kefla. I hate Kefla.
Yeah,
Kefla's
To this day,
awesome.
like, she's not as good as she was, but it's like it's still just she heals, she can feint you, she has infinite strike cards, she has ridiculous everything about her is still a top tier unit. It's just her stats are a tiny bit lacking because when she came out.
Stupid
But I hate
support, too.
starting a match.
Actually,
Like, you mess up that first like tackle or something, and you just get strike card, you're out. Like, you lost that unit, or you're swapping. Like,
Pycon kind of fits as an answer to this question because I was terrified of pulling him when he came out.
This guy.
Alrighty. I think we'll move on to the next one, which is also from our Discord server from ABZ273, asking, what do you think is the next All-Star or Rising banner coming in the next couple of days? Personally, I think it could have a couple of Android units because of the release of both Cell and 16, or re-release of both Cell and 16 at the same time.
Well, before we
Is
even
that- I
answer
think
the,
that there's
before we
a
even answer
banner
the
on
question,
Wednesday?
I was going to say before we even answer the question, we should, think about if we even are going to get an All-Star banner this week, right?
I hope not.
Isn't it?
Probably.
Isn't their pattern usually just Zenkai banner?
Yeah, but you have
But we have two step
Have
ups.
we
Yeah.
seen like a preview for all the All Stars going forward? Like, has there been any that have blindsided us? Just 3 brand new units.
The rest of this month is characteristically, in business terms, a pretty low slump, and they're coming off of their top grossing, first anniversary stuff. So I wouldn't surprise me if they took like a short break, like a week, 2, and then the new banner came out, because they're not looking at making a ton of money at the end of January anyway.
It's a good thing that they're taking a break because I have so much to do right now. Jeez.
yeah, it's a little crazy. I can't even keep up.
Yeah,
But with that
I'm
being
glad they
said,
slowed down.
there is supposed to be another V jump coming within about a week and a half, isn't there?
Yeah.
So
Honestly, it's probably because remember the V jump, I believe, in January last year, showed the Super Saiyan 4s, did it not?
yes, that was the post anniversary stuff going on, like right after, and we were like, "What the heck? Why is this hype like right now?"
Well, I'm saying they showed off the Super Saiyan 4s after their banner was already up. So I'm saying they could just show Gogeta and Broly in the V jump for this month, and that's it.
Yeah, and I also anticipate, there might be some more difficulty in us like adequately getting the leaks of the V jumps this month, right? Because they're on like a copyright claiming spree. Everyone's afraid to post certain like images. I mean, they were already kind of worried to post them before because like it's a jailable offense now to leak those images in Japan, and now they're going even crazier.
So the stuff online, I think I read was it's a little bit more deep rooted. I think someone's been bamboozling everyone with the stuff online, but the whole super risky to share and leak stuff, I think that's been around for a little bit, quite a while now, but we still got them, right?
Well, it's 2021. The new copyright laws in Japan are going into effect soon, if not now.
It doesn't matter about that. It's the same issue that has to do with posting like V-Jump merchandise ahead of release in Japan. It's the same problem.
Yeah, it's like a literal crime. Like
yeah,
right?
that's why like the images are intentionally blurred and stuff like that. But for an all-star banner, I want to see a Monsters Arbonne.
That would be dope. Even a transforming version from regular to monster.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, that would be dope.
Oh, I saw that on Twitter earlier, Koresh.
Yeah, dude, it's 2.5 years into the game. We don't have a Monsters Arbonne. Like,
I still want to see Garlic Jr., so I'm just gonna keep saying Garlic Jr. Want Garlic Jr. If he's not in LL, I still want.
We need a Vegeta with dirty fireworks. A Vegeta with dirty fireworks, please.
We've gotten so much Frieza Force, bro, from the free-to-play units. I don't want any more Frieza Force. I don't even use Frieza Force.
Bro, we need more.
All of them.
They don't need to do new Frieza Force. They just need to redo the Ginyu EX event and let us Zenkai them, right? That could really change the meta up too.
Even if it is Zenkai Ginyu.
Like, no.
Yes.
No,
don't start this.
All of them. All the EX.
You can't. No, you can't give an entire goddamn Zenkai team overnight, bro.
They're all EXs.
Why not, Brad?
It's something to farm.
They're still at 14 stars. They're still okay. They're not great, but they're okay.
They're not okay compared to EX First Form Frieza.
We want broken.
Bro, you can't give us an entire full team overnight.
They're gonna have to because they all release together. They can't just cherry pick some.
You didn't do Furter. You just do Furter and Base together.
Yeah,
those two together.
You mad lad.
Super Warriors.
You just want to see
Super Warriors.
It would impact the meta abruptly and drastically, where you'd be seeing a bunch of Gogeta Blue, Broly, Zenkai, Vegeta,
Super Warriors.
And then there'd be like crazy Ginyu Force teams rolling around.
I would rock that.
Super Warriors needs it way more. Palms, I'm sorry, Palm, but Super Warriors need it way more.
Not sorry.
Well, look, Super Warriors.
Yeah, give it to Super Warriors.
Super Warriors need the rest of their team first, and then they can start worrying about
This is the time they should give us Super Warriors. We're gonna have a dead month anyways. This is when we should get them.
Like, there's no buff Roshi yet.
Zenkai the ones that
Roshi would sell. I feel like he would sell. Would a Dragon Ball Roshi, would he also be Super Warrior? Like Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z?
No, I don't think he would be.
Damn.
Never
mind. That wouldn't be.
Okay, so if I had to put money on something, I would say please no banner this week. Maybe actual content instead.
But androids do need a blue.
The banners are the content.
Oh, my bad.
LF this week. I'd be down for that.
Okay, sounds
good. No.
An LF blue Android.
What you want it to be?
An LF blue Android.
Monsters Arbonne.
MVP.
Monsters Arbonne LF.
He did LF Vegeta, didn't he?
What?
He's like one of the few villains that actually defeated his enemy.
Yeah, he did. He killed Vegeta. Well, he didn't kill Vegeta. Well, he basically killed Vegeta and then put him in the healing pod.
Yeah, that's the LF right there.
And stupidly.
All right, I think it's time. I think it's time we move on to the next question. That one's from the Chewy, and the question is: what are your thoughts on the New Year's guild battle? Did it add anything to the current guild system?
I didn't even really know what was going on. Like, it was so subtle.
Yeah, me either. I have no idea what that is.
It left no footprint on the game besides the titles. Yeah. Like, that's it.
And people really cheating apparently.
Yeah.
And also it was 2 weeks long.
It convinced Goresh to go absolutely insane off the charts deep end with his like 12 million collector's points or whatever.
That was
like 17 million.
But no, I didn't really care about the guild thing. It was just because like everyone was like, "Oh, do it," and then no one else actually ended up doing it but me.
You can blame Truth and Nolar for that, but I think Nolar came through.
Yeah, didn't Nolar finish? He finished it up, bro.
I didn't do UI Goku.
Hey, I came in fourth. Yeah,
Let's get him for that
Oh,
one.
sorry, he didn't do UI Go. You're right.
So
Let's get him.
Before that
That
banner.
banner is still alive. Let's get him right now.
to stay somewhat on track with this question, I think it was maybe a good conceptual idea in their heads, but it was maybe an okay first attempt, but it literally left like no footprint on the game, so they need to do a little bit more. Like,
It was
I don't think anything guild related is going to be satisfactory until they release like direct guild versus guild fights where you can queue up with another guild and directly fight them, or that dungeon mode or whatever the hell they were talking about, like an entirely new way to play, right? Like it's going to take something on that level. Like this guild season was like completely ignorable. They never really advertised it in game. You didn't really, when you went to the PvP menu, it didn't say anything special. There was no leaderboards. That was just in your face, like keeping track of the stuff. Like they need to enhance it a little bit more for the next time.
Yeah, just a little. All right, I think we can move on to the next question, which comes from Matthew24, and they're asking, what would you guys like to see for Valentine's? Ryuden, you want to start it off?
Zenkai GT.
Let's be honest here. It's just going to be 2 female warrior units. That's all they're going to get for the rest of the year. Maybe 1 broken Zenkai so people can still feel good about using them, and then that's it.
So
it's
Blue
not going to be
21.
like...
Zenkai Blue 21.
Zenkai GT.
Dude, if they...
Zenkai Chi-Chi. Zenkai
gets a
Chi-Chi would... GGY with Vados and 18 destroys Blue Purple, destroys Sun Family. It would be the perfect choice. But
if the Blue 18 got a Zenkai, androids would be better than Sun Family, 100%.
They should
That's an interesting one.
They should Zenkai Yellow Rosie and not bring her back on a banner, so nobody can. Nobody.
Or Blue Rebrienne.
So good thing is Kuba's not here, huh?
Either Blue Android 21 or Zenkai Chi-Chi. Both of those would be perfect. Honestly,
for a new unit though, give me a base form Kefla transforms to Super Saiyan Kefla. I mean, if we're gonna give a good female unit out, let's do that. Or
can we finally get launch? Like what
launch would be great. Like, and she can transform
launch.
too from blue hair to yellow, even though she doesn't fight at all when she's in her blue hair. She'd have to be like a support character. Imagine she'd be like a support character with a blue hair, and then when she transforms, she could transform into like an aggro. Like
Bulma doesn't fight that much, right? Like,
no,
Bulma's never fought like that, but she still has, So anything's
Bulma
possible.
would be insane with that 50% boost.
Bulma should get a green card that's like Champa's, where she just screams and then you get stunned.
No, dude, it's even more broke.
Sure,
because you get Dragon Ball immediately lets you swap back in. You can chain the free green from 18 right now into Bulma, and you can go right back into 18 immediately and get her ICU twice buff and go crazy on your opponent. If they Zenkai the blue Bulma right now, female war, I guess girls.
Well, I was trying to think of new units at this point besides
Oh,
Zenkai.
no.
A base form non-Super Saiyan Kefla that transforms into Super Saiyan would be cool.
let's get like a Oceana Shenron, the girl version, right?
Yeah, there's more GT stuff that you don't think will happen.
It'd be cool if we had the Kaioken.
Warriors. That's it. If you want even buff GT,
The Kaioken Chi-Chi would be cool.
Yeah, base forms of I don't know if you guys said it, the Ribrienne and all of them.
Yeah,
a transforming Brienne into Ribrienne could be good.
No, just Brienne.
Let's be real. We're just gonna get another Android 18 and call it a Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so easy, right? Android 18 into Bulma, and then we're good.
Or maybe a support combo unit, Kale and Caulifla, where they do like the Broly Chilai or the Saiyaman 1 and 2, but with Kale and Caulifla on the same card. That could be neat.
Probably just gonna Zenkai Kale or something.
They got to come out with a new unit.
Kale for Valentine.
I mean, I still kind of want Chilai and Lemo, so I'd like that unit. That'd be pretty good.
Or just a standalone Chilai unit since she's modeled in the game already. We just got.
It wouldn't
Broly.
be a bad idea for movies.
Yeah, we just got Broly. Chilai could come out.
I don't know, man. I think. Yeah. Okay, I think everybody got their points out. I think we have time for one more question. This one's from Twitter from Archit Sahai asking, what do you guys think they could do to make the Rare Metal Shop anti-awakening equipment system better?
They should let you re-roll the first slot of awakened equips. That's it. And that way you only need to do it once.
Yeah. What did I don't know if this is what you just said, right, Ryan? Because I was like rereading the question in my head, but re-rolling the first slot, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, and I don't know. making the whole system itself just less obnoxious with you having to require like those jigsaw puzzle pieces and then this equipment, then 2 of them at A rank, 1 of them at B rank. Like, it's just too annoying to have to go to all these different exchange shops to go farm down these specific other equipments to feed into it, and then you just get like screwed, and it's a E first slot, like, right? It's terrible. And then the rare metal shop, I just think they should consolidate all the shops and let you like pick different currencies to pay for it based off of availability, right? Like, maybe not consolidate all the shops, but consolidate a good bunch of them like down into just like one shop, and you could pay with this, or you could pay with this metal, or you could pay with this ticket, or you could like, and you just get it all from one shop with the
You
different.
just need to get rid of all the different currencies, and then that way you're not, oh, I have 38 of this and 100 of this. Just have like dual coins, right? A system like that where one currency is for the co-op, one currency is for the PvP, one currency is for the events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the adventures are like a curveball and all that, because you're always getting some different themed nonsense from the adventures, like sausages and rice cakes and fireworks and cheeseburgers and whatever the hell else.
All the good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, frankly, I don't even know because I also don't use Awaken equips at all. So
SQ
it'll
what?
have to pay for me. Huh?
How?
How do I not use it?
Because they're annoying. I
No,
don't
I
really
mean-
use them
Lazy.
either.
Okay, fair enough.
I've had like
I
one equipment awaken ever that had a decent first slot on it, and it was probably one of the platinum ones, like for an LF character. That's the only time I'll go through the effort of trying to get one.
I just found it's not really worth spending your medals on that when you could just spend them all in Zenkai Souls.
Well, you're Zenkaiing all the units. Like, I'm trying to perfect a team, and I find all of my rush medals going into those dang blueprints. But I know I'm not just getting insanely lucky on every single item. It's that I'm doing all my resource into that, and I'm walking away with C's of all the new items. It's a headache. It might take 40 to 60 of them, but I mean, I think it's
Bro,
worth going for.
Didn't work on the equip for like 2 days or something, and then he just didn't want to give you any good rolls. I can't remember which equip it was, but I remember you losing your mind over a specific equipment. I was like,
The Broly item was
triggering.
pain.
Yeah.
This new Broly Awaken item just screwed me over. But I got a red slot instead of a gold, so I think it was all worth it. And you get these outlier situations, but if you're doing one team and you're really putting all your resource into one team, Awaken item is definitely worth the
I
game.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And something else I could say, this isn't specific to awakening equipment, but just something that would make the entire equipment rolling process better. So please, Toshi, if you're listening, for the love of God, do this. Introduce like a golden eraser, or whatever. It could be a little harder to get, more expensive to farm, whatever. But every time you use the golden eraser, it just guarantees that the stat roll will be better. Not like infinitely better. Like, you're not just, oh, I automatically rolled, the top roll, but it's just incrementally, it's just guaranteed it has to be better. Like, it can't roll down, right? And then with that golden eraser and a way to somewhat reliably farm those, the whole equipment process just gets better. Because, like, I've gone through a stack of 99 erasers before and ended up, like, with not better stats on any of the equipment that I rolled on. Like, what the hell? Like, that was just a complete waste of resources and, like, 45 minutes of my time.
Yikes.
I think it's supposed to be exciting. Well, I know it's supposed to be exciting, but I think it's just like pulling an LF unit or something. You know how much of a pain it is. You know how much of a headache it is. But when you finally get it, it just hits perfectly. And then you link all your friends and like, yo, check this out, right? I think if they handed you an item that guaranteed the gold slots, yes, we would have full Z, but
We don't have to guarantee gold
it takes the
slots.
value away from it.
Like, even chat saying, like, you could get unlucky even with a gold eraser, and it could increase from 1% to 1.01%. Like, you could still get screwed, but it's just guaranteed to not go down, right? Like, it can't be a worse roll. It just guarantees some type of better roll. And then if you can stockpile enough of them, you could then guarantee to, like, use 50 erasers, and you can guarantee to get a Z plus on one piece of equipment, right?
One thing I'm going to say is I doubt they're going to change it because it's very much intentional that they made it to where the second and third slots cannot be reset. So we would have to dump our resource into constantly creating the item. Because I mean, if you go for a platinum item, you go through super souls. You just creating the 3 base prints or whatever it is, and then to create the one roll to create the awakened. So I mean, I think it's a resource sink. I think it's very much by design, and so I don't ever foresee a future where the first slot will change. I think you're just gonna have to roll for it.
All right.
Right.
I think that's the closing words. So this was the last question for today. Thanks to everybody who came out. The podcast will premiere in about 24 hours from now on YouTube. Make sure to follow us on all our social medias to be notified whenever something goes live, or interact with us, join our Discord server, all the good stuff. We have a video coming up in about 20 minutes, the Zenkai fan-made Vegeta family video. So make sure to check that out over on YouTube. We'll be back in another week. So have a good rest of your day. And yeah, you guys want to say bye?
Peace out, y'all.
Hey,
See
we
you guys.
appreciate y'all checking out the
Bye.
podcast. I believe that there's gonna be some Genshin Impact stuff going on later tonight. I'm sure
League and
that.
stuff is rigged.
Who what? Oh.
He said league and stuff is rigged.
League and
Oh.
stuff is rigged.
Yeah, League and stuff.
Gersh knows what I'm talking about.
As Palm said earlier on YouTube, the fan-made Vegeta Family Zenkai reactions will be going up. I'm sure Twitch will be active for a majority of the afternoon. Maybe if no one's going live, I can fill with something here shortly until Genshin. But yeah, be sure to check out all the creators involved, and we appreciate you stopping by.
Bye, buddy.
Alrighty.
Peace.
We'll see y'all next time.